Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another daily update video, and probably the worst day of the week so far. I mean, look at this heat map. Pretty much everything is red except for the honey badger. Micron was up 0.3% because Micron does not care. But all kidding aside, I mean, I got hit pretty hard on my shares. AMD down 3.8%. I mean, that's critical. Space was also down a few percent. We'll take a look at that. But Apple down 4.2%. I mean, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Amazon, big tech, all down at least 2 to 3%. All the semis were down except for Micron. I mean, pretty much awful day in the market. Let's go right to Robinhood here. So, you know, we had our normal usual sell-off in the morning within the first half an hour. And I thought, all right, we're going to do just like we did the past 2 days. We'll sell off in the morning, and then we'll rally slowly all day long. But that is not what happened today. Today, we just sold off all day long. I mean, AMD closed, like I said, down 4.2%. After hours, it's still down about another 0.3%. So AMD basically went from 77.40 at market open to 74.50. And let's take a look at the TradingView chart in a second. But the reason why I'm a bit scared about that is, first of all, my covered calls that I sold at the 85 strike, I mean, they're basically worth pennies at this point. I was hoping they'd get to 1 penny so I could just close them out today, but they're still hovering around 5 cents, which, okay, fine, whatever. I'll just maybe hopefully close them out tomorrow if it gets to a penny, but we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think there's any chance that AMD is going to rally $10 in 2 days, even if some great news comes out. I mean, $10 out of a share price of about $75, that is, let's see, 10 divided by... That means AMD would have to rally about 13% in 2 days, which would be crazy. It would be nuts. So I don't think that's going to happen, but I still own these covered calls. I debated whether I should close them out today, and the reason I didn't is because once I saw that the whole market was red, you know, it wasn't going to be a good day to open up a covered call because all the covered call premiums were so little because it was a red day. You want to open up covered calls when the stock is green or it's going up. So yes, I could say, well, why don't I close out the position today, and then hopefully tomorrow will be green, and I can open my covered calls tomorrow when they're green for a little bit more premium. But as you know, that's trying to predict the future, and there's nothing guaranteeing that tomorrow is going to be another green day. Might be another big red day like it was today. And in that case, I would have been better off selling the covered calls today as opposed to tomorrow if tomorrow's a big red day. So I said, you know what? Let's just keep it low stress this week. If I need to, I'll just ride these things out to max profit on Friday end of the day. I'll kind of regroup over the weekend, and we'll see how next week goes. So I still own those 2 covered calls on AMD at the 85 strike. But let's go to TradingView right now and see what we're talking about here. So the reason why I'm concerned is because if you've been following my videos, you know I think there's a strong area of support right now on AMD at about $74, right? So today, the intraday low was just over 74, about 74.32. And we closed today at 74.73. We're up a little bit, a few pennies after hours. But we are getting awfully close. We keep testing the support level. I mean, look at this. September 17, 18, 19, and today, we basically keep touching $74. Thankfully, it has held up so far. But I'm scared that if we keep testing this trend level, it's not going to hold up, and then the next thing down is to fill this gap, which is all the way down to like 70, 71, which if that happens, I'm going to be even farther out of the money trying to sell covered calls in the low 80s. So I really hope that either tomorrow or Friday, we bounce off the 74 level and close somewhere higher. I think there is still resistance at about 78. I would love to get to 78 by end of day Friday, because then on Monday, I could sell covered calls at like 84, 85 strikes and still collect a good premium on those. But yeah, I mean, we keep testing the 74 level. It keeps knocking on the door like it wants to break down below it. Like I said, I hope it doesn't, because then I would really be bag holding some of these shares. But, you know, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So next in line is my Space or Virgin Galactic shares. And similar to yesterday, you know, not a good day for Space. We sold off all day again. We did rally a little bit during power hour here, but we still ended the day down a little over 4%. After hours, we're up a little bit from where we closed. So right now, we are trading Virgin Galactic at $15.93. And I was assigned shares about a month and a half, almost 2 months ago now, at $19 a share. Yes, I've sold some covered calls to reduce my cost basis. I have to sit down and do the calculation, but I'm probably somewhere around $17 to $18 in terms of my true cost basis. So, we're so far away from the $19 strike that I may have to sell covered calls for maybe $17.50 or $18 next Monday to collect a decent premium. I mean, we'll have to take a look. But same thing with space on my covered calls. I sold them at the 19 strike. They're worth 2 pennies right now. Same scenario. I could have closed them out today, but because space sold off so much, it would not have been a good day to open up covered calls because it was a red day on space. So, I just want to keep it low stress this week and maybe low stress next week too. So we'll see what happens, but let's just ride these things out to max profit any day Friday. I don't have to pay any extra commissions for closing these out early. And we'll just take it step by step and then see Monday where we are when we open and see what strikes I want to sell my covered calls on space and AMD on. Let's go to look to TradingView and looking at space. I drew this support level here at just under $16. You can see we closed actually just under that. And our intraday low was about $15.50. So I really hope that we bounce off this tomorrow and don't trade further below, because the next area of support I think is a little over $14. So, if we get there, then I'm a couple bucks away from where I would ideally want to sell my strikes for my covered calls. But we'll have to wait and see, because I think right now the channel is between about $16 and about $17 of where space has been bouncing the past few days. So we'll have to see. So at both AMD and space, I need to bounce up because they're both kind of riding their support levels right now. We'll have to see again what happens tomorrow and how we close out the day. But I am a little bit concerned about that. Like I said, if that happens, I will just sell some covered calls a little bit below my cost basis, maybe above some areas of resistance that I've identified, so I can collect good premium. And I am strongly considering selling some monthly options instead of my usually weeklies, because if the market does continue to sell off, well, then at least I've locked in some good premiums, and I will basically collect max profit, or darn near close to max profit, much quicker if we continue to sell off. And then I can think about selling some strikes or from covered calls that are below my cost basis, but not too far below. So that was really my day today. Nothing really eventful per se, aside from the whole market just really selling off. Let's just take a look at SPY real quick. Here's my technical analysis on SPY. I did one a few days ago. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. But same thing with SPY. We closed right above, or right below, I should say, this area of support that I identified, which was around 323. So I think tomorrow is going to be a real critical day for the market to see, because if SPY breaks to the downside, then SPY is basically made of a big tech. So I think big tech, since it's been propping up the market this whole time, if SPY breaks to the downside, then the next area of support I've identified is about 312. There might be an area of support here because there's a bunch of wicks, as we can see back here, back on end of July and mid-July and early July, that kind of touched this level of 320. But again, we closed it at 322, so it's only $2 away. So I'm really concerned that if SPY breaks this support level tomorrow, maybe like the 310s or the low 310s are the next level of support, which is going to be kind of scary. Take a look at this. SPY is down 4.8% for the week, down 5.9% for the month so far. So not a good month. I know historically September has not been a good month in general for the stock market, but we have that. We have the first presidential debate coming up next week. And then, of course, in a month or so, we have the election. So a lot of catalysts right now, a lot of potential for bad news. So I am playing it safe. I would love to sell out of my AMD and space calls and get my shares called away and basically be cash until the dust settles. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, unless this is just a little bit of a correction and we start another bull rally up. But we'll just have to wait and see. So let me know if you made any trades today. If you open any trades, I think you're really gutsy. Let me know if you close any positions out. Hopefully you're profitable this week. I am considering maybe at this point buying some puts on SPY, or maybe I should trade SQQQ, which is the inverse of the Qs. It's a 3x leverage ETF, but that's a way to basically play the downside. I'm certainly considering it given that this big sell-off that we've been having so far. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and happy trading.